Welcome to the Hat Warriors Wiki Editing Guide. This guide is for people who are new to wiki editing, editing the World of Warriors wiki, and it will give you a good, nice little starting off point of how to create warrior pages as well as Skull Army pages. So, when you first open the World of Warriors wiki, you'll be greeted with this page, which I made yesterday. Quite happy with. So if you don't have an account, I would recommend you sign up for one, which you can do by scrolling to the bottom and clicking this Enlist Now button. That should take you to the sign up page, and you just create a fandom account, and as you do it, of course, if you're not comfortable with that, you can edit without that. However, the way it registers who's edited it will be your IP address. So if you don't want that as public knowledge, I would probably use a fandom account, but that's up to you. Next, you're going to want, so if you want to create a new warrior page, you're going to want to find a warrior page that's requested. You can either do this by going to characters, warriors, list of warriors, and scrolling down until you find one of these broken link red links here. And so all of these warriors that have red links don't have pages. And then you can go up here and add new page. Or you can go up here and add new page and see kind of which ones are missing here. So if we go with this first method, we can click on this anneal link here, and it will redirect us to the uncreated anneal page. The same will happen if you do the add page method, whichever you choose. So now we have a new page, and we'll want to put this on visual editing if you're new. So to start off, this is kind of the structure that we go for with the wiki. So we want to do insert, template, and this is going to give you a nice little base template to model your warriors page off of. So we're going to do unit, which is this first one that's just called unit. And so we're going to want to go through and kind of fill in all these boxes. So our element for anneal will be fire, because he's a fire warrior. This will determine the color of the box, and it has a little symbol that shows he's fire. So for avatar, I'm pretty sure anneal.png exists. If not, it will come up with a waiting image. I'll go through doing images later, but if it isn't a thing, I should be able to see it, and then I can add the picture, or someone else who's capable of, who's better knowledgeable of adding pictures can do it, or you can try and figure that out yourself. I might do a bit later on how to do that. So then description will be the warrior's description, so attempting to subdue a local uprising in the Himalayas. Anil was forced by angry villagers to retreat, and so basically you fill in the rest of that description. Then number is the number the warrior is within the in-game warrior book, which I don't currently have access to. I only have my physical one, so I'm just going to leave that blank for now. Then rarity, he's a legendary, so we just put in legendary. Now armor, his armor is 1, I think. For some reason the warrior book doesn't tell me that, which is really helpful. Set, if we don't know the set, then we just leave it blank and it will automatically default to no set, and then someone else can fill that in later and it will be added to the actual correct set. Now LS stands for leader skill, so if you know that you can fill that in. I don't, so I'm just going to leave these blank and it will default to none. BB means the special move, so we're going to put in Inferno because that's his special move. BB level is the strength of Inferno, and that's one of the problems with the warrior book. It's supposed to tell you the level, but it doesn't, so just default it to 2 if you don't know. Now for the BB description, you're going to want to describe it as it says in the book. So burn enemies with the power of fire. With the elemental power of fire. Now, how to get? So we want to do bullet points, so we put a little star, and we write our first ones down. So because he's a legendary, he will always be available at the door of epics. He was also an arena prize, so you can put arena. And he's also been available at the western door, so we put star western door. So then we have our different ways that he's available, and this will bullet point them. Notes is for anything else, so say if you've got fighting facts like this, warriors of the Gupta Empire used iron shafts to repel, and then you just finish the sentence. Then you just click insert, and it will generate it for you. Yep, so anil.jpg doesn't exist. I mean, .png doesn't exist. So, but it kind of fills it in. You have a red outline box with a red fire, and it's quite obvious, and it tells you level 2, special move Inferno, how to obtain, and that's very good and helpful. Now, there are a couple more things we want to add to a warrior page. The first one is stats by level. So the stats by level is quite simple. It's just the stats a warrior has at each level, because originally this template allowed you to do their base stats, but I think the way they calculated that changed throughout the time of the game. So that's not the best way to do it. This probably also isn't the best way to do it, but some wiki pages are already set out for that, so I would recommend doing it. So we want to do insert table, and this base table will work fine. We don't need to add anything to it. We write level in the furthest left column, health with a capital, physical, elemental. Then you can just fill in all those little bits if you have any information on that. If not, then you can just leave it blank for other people to do. Then we want to go add another heading again and put in trivia. So this is where we put our trivia. So for example, because there's Anil, we can say Anil was based on the developer of the game Anil Das Gupta. No, not have been inspired by. And you can add any other facts, so for example if they were in any of the spin-off games, etc., or any facts maybe about the like historical period they came from if you're into history, those sort of things. Now finally we're going to want to add one last heading and put in a gallery. So we type gallery, and we're going to use the insert element again and gallery. So in gallery we can do Anil. So here comes up, go up to 4, and so we can put that, and then we can search for more, and because we know he's a Gupta warrior, we can do Gupta. Okay, so there's only one picture of him, and now we also know that Gupta-4 is the, just Gupta space 4 is the name of the Anil picture, so we can insert that. When future Anil pictures are added, we can add them in here. And we can also go back to here because we now know that Anil does actually exist, so we go Gupta 4 and apply, and look, there he goes, he appears in there. So that's our default page look, and if we hit save, we'll also see that he's been added to the categories of fire, warriors, and no set based off of this, and we have a good little page for him. This is our default style, and that's what it is. Like I said, I didn't finish these sections just for the sake of the tutorial, but I will finish that in a moment. So, next I'll show you how to make Skull Army pages. So the best way to find Skull Army pages that need to be done are through going to the Characters Skull Army section and clicking on an incomplete Skull Army page, so one of these ones with the red links. So we click on Shocker, and we're going to insert a template, but this time we're not going to use unit, we're going to use Skull Army. This one here. It works very similar way. So because Shocker's element changes across the game, we're just going to give it dark element, avatar, because Shocker doesn't necessarily have a picture, we're just going to default shocker.png and see if that exists. Description, we don't have a description, we don't have a number, so number in this case is the number in the minion book, not in the warrior's book. Rank is whether it's a minion, a mini boss, or a true boss. So Shocker's just a Skull Army minion, so we just put minion there. Armor level, all Skull Army minions have an armor level of 1. Set, so the minions belong to a specific set in the warrior book as well, the same way the warriors do. In the warrior book, we don't know that. We also don't know the leader skill description, but we do know the special move, so we can go Thunder Strike. Level, as we said, defaults to 2. I'm pretty sure that's what it actually is. Description, I don't know what the description is actually, so we'll just leave that blank as well. Like I said, it's best to create these and fill them in with the information you know, and then others can come along and fill this in as well. If you do know the information, then great, and I'll go through editing pages that already exist. How to get, so we want to do star western door, because minion, and also star arena for the same reason. Notes, we have no notes to add, so we can just insert that, and look, we've got a nice little dark element page. So shocker.png does not exist, so here we go down and put heading. So this time is slightly different. We don't want to do stats by level because that's not what's relevant. We want to do location. And for location we do insert table, the same way we did for stats, and we put location, health, physical, mental, and then we want to add one after, which is level. And this should be stats by location. So then this can be filled in based off of which locations the game have Shocker in, and these can then be linked to their relevant pages. The location can then be linked to the relevant location pages, and people can find out the information. And again, we'll want to do a heading and just create a trivia section. If we don't have anything to add, it's still good for it to be there for others to fill in. And we'll want one last heading, of course, which will be the gallery. Nope, wrong button, so we just want to go insert gallery again, and we'll look up Shocker, see if that brings anything up. No. Okay, it doesn't look like we've got any pictures for Shocker, so I'll have to work through that, but we do just insert a gallery, blank gallery. Oh, we can't do that. But we do have a thing there, so then we just hit save, and this will means it's a created page that can then be edited by anyone else. Now for editing pages that already exist, we'll just quickly go through that. So if we go to Warriors, list of Warriors, and we click on one of these, let's go with Crockett. So as you'll see, he has a page already, and already like a stats per level table, but it's not quite formatted correctly. So we want to hit edit quickly. Just hit edit. And some of these old ones will have lots of things that aren't necessary, so you can just uncheck all of these non-bold boxes. And they'll disappear once you hit save. There's a lot of these on this one because this is quite an old page. So these are all quite well filled in, and we'll just want to do armor. Which is armor level 1, I believe. And we just hit apply, and it should. This armor should be 1, and this armor should be unchecked. That can be confusing because it is slightly different. Just make sure your armor has gone in here. Now, this is quite a good page already. So stats by level, you see this table has like this slightly dotted line when you click off of it. This is problematic, so we'll want to insert a new table. And we'll do level, physical, mental, and health. And just put in the levels that have already been done. So we can do 7, 2, 5, 9, and 22, 1, 4, 8, 16, 5, 4, 5, 27, 207, 23, 7, 6, 5. And then people who have, we need to do people who have more, as we have in this case, can just click insert above or below to add a new column, and then we do 34, 333, 37, 1228, and so when people find out more information about the warrior, they can just simply add it to the table, and then we have all their stats. Now, once you've cross-referenced all the information, you can then delete this table because this table is annoying. Now, again, we'll do a heading, trivia, and so there we go, and then we'll add the last section, which of course is our gallery. Some of the older warriors will have lots of different pictures already on the site, which we can do. So if we do Crockett, we can add the main picture and the square pictures. There is actually a file on the site, which I might go through at some point, which allows you to check off certain warriors that you've got, which I find quite cool. And then we can just insert those, and there we have some nice pictures. And then we hit save, and now you've managed to update the page properly. Now, you might see some comments. Okay, this page doesn't have any, but you might see some comments on some pages which are unsavory, to say the least. As you should just be able to hit them and then click the report button to get rid of them. That should send them to me, and I should be able to delete them, hopefully, or it might send them to fandom and they'll probably delete them. No one's done it yet, so I'll have to see. But yeah, that's your general guide to adding warriors and Skull Army to the wiki and editing already existing pages. Like I said, it's going to be a hell of an effort, and I'm going to keep going as well. Like I said, we need to go through all of these warriors and check their pages are properly formatted, they're nice and they look good, etc. These ones, some of the, like this doesn't even have a page yet, etc. These are going to have pages made for them, and there's going to be a lot. But hopefully it should be good by the end, and we'll have achieved our goal. Like I said, even if you just do one page and you don't really add that much information, you just format it properly, you are helping. It's really helpful. It means I don't have to go through and do it. Like I said, any help is good. If you are going to upload images, use this upload new file tool. Do not use the default when you go into edit mode here. Do not use this button here. It means it will be uploaded under Creative Commons, and we can't do that because they're not our pictures, which we had a problem with. I don't know, sometimes when you log on, it will give you a little pop-up here that will say, do not use that tool, because, and if you have any images that have been done using that tool, make sure to edit the licensing, because, like I said, we don't own the images, we can't upload them as Creative Commons. Anyway, thanks for watching. I really hope you help us get this all sorted out, and I hope you learned something from the video. I'll see you next time.